Hi folks, Russ Scala here with the Russ Scala YouTube channel and Scala Precision Health. As always, we want to bring you some really cutting edge information to start to think about. We've got 28,000 psychiatrists in this country that do talk therapy, use antidepressants, psychotic drugs. I understand that, but I think what we could do now is expand the psychiatrist toolbox. Okay, by using nutritional and hormonal testing and looking at the microbiome. The gut is the second brain, so what goes on in your gut affects the brain chemistry. We want to, just with the three psychiatrists I met last month, you could tell that they're looking for something else to do because they really care and they want to do a deep dive on their patients because they know they aren't getting better and the talk therapy is not working. So again, looking at hormonal replacement therapy, nutritional replacement, and looking at the gut microbiome, even the mitochondria. How the mitochondria functions on a cellular level, how we create energy affects our brain chemistry. And there's new books hitting the market that's saying mental health is a metabolic disease tied to high blood sugar and high insulin, which is fascinating. And if you really think about it, folks, if somebody in your family gets diagnosed with bipolar disorder, schizophrenia, depression, there's really no blood test for that. So why don't we look at nutrition, hormone replacement, the gut microbiome, and see if there are deficiencies in those areas that affect brain chemistry. It's just a good marriage. Okay, I've been looking at this since I was a paramedic attached to the SWAT team in the 80s, and I had two friends commit suicide. Even back then, I knew there was more to this. So stand by and watch what we put together.
Since the beginning of time, humans have been using substances to heal, numb pain, enhance spiritual experience, and the meaning of life. Many shamanic and Rastafarianism have long used hallucinogens to expand consciousness, find empowerment, escape oppression, connect with others, and promote religious connection and vision. The modern religion of psychiatry is now understanding the healing power of these substances as well as nutritional and hormonal replacement.
Folks, one of the things that drew me to offering what my pharmacy does in my nutritional testing lab is the psychiatrists that I talked to over the last few years really want to expand their knowledge in the area of nutrition, hormonal replacement, and the microbiome. And let me give you an example. I helped open up and develop new treatment protocols for a couple of addiction centers. And what we found out was women that were addicted to alcohol, really they were medicating themselves because they were low in estrogen. This is pretty fascinating, and this is what I'm talking about. Women that were addicted to alcohol, once we offered the new hormonal testing to the addiction market that's never been done before, and a woman has three estrogens, estradiol, estrone, and estriol. When we elevated the women's estrogen levels from a deficiency to optimizing her estrogen levels, her requirements for alcohol went down. And we used to sit with these women and say, listen, she goes, I haven't had a drink all day today, or I'm not craving the alcohol. And what people didn't realize back then is alcohol elevates estrogen levels. And this is one example of bringing the hormonal replacement testing not only into the addiction market, because estrogen has a lot to do with enhancing the brain chemistry, elevating serotonin, even growing something called brain-derived neurotrophic factor, which stimulates neurogenesis or the growth of new brain tissue. This is all fascinating science that can be applied to the psychiatric community. If we look at the evolution of psychiatry, like everything, it's just fascinating. We look at Alfred Monez, the guy that developed the ice pick lobotomy, where they put an ice pick under the eye and scrambled the brain and helped people calm down that were severely agitated. And this procedure went on for, I think, like 10 years. And Monez, who developed the ice pick lobotomy, won the Nobel Prize. And then we slide over to electric shock therapy. Again, they didn't really know a lot what was going on because we didn't have MRIs. We couldn't see what was in the brain, so we did some of these very archaic and brutal treatments for people. Now we can look inside the brain, and we know that nutrition and hormonal replacement therapy, we know the gut, the microbiome is the second brain, and if the diversity of the bacteria in the gut is out of balance, it's going to affect how somebody feels. So again, with the psychiatrists that I interviewed, being in this business 20 years, having friends commit suicide, I want to expand the vision and expand the testing skills of a psychiatrist and introduce this testing into their practice.